to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kand. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prem. So once again, welcome to today's call and thank you very much for joining us. Moving on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. I would let all the devotees on the call to please go ahead with your introductions now.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And I think I did hear Indulekha Mataji as well. So Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Ashram devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. If you have any more introductions, we have about 4 more minutes to go.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji, Dandot Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Guri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shamagari Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Mataji, Dandavad Pranams unto you and all of the devotees here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Ekaradika Leela Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Ekaradika Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. My Dhanavad Pranam to you and to the all respected devotees of this divine group. सभी भक्तों को श्री राम मंदिर के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई। अयोध्या में जो श्री राम मंदिर के लिए निर्माण कार्य उसके लिए सब भक्तों को बहुत बहुत बधाई। जय श्री राम।
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And congratulations to you and all the devotees for Ram Mandir. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji would be enlightening us by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, and verse 24 to 26. But before we dive into this nectarine class, I would request Nishita Bhakti Mataji to share a brief introduction about our today's speaker, His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Nishita Bhakti Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and over to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, All glories to all the Vaishnavas present on the call. Thank you, Mataji, for giving me the service. So, His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, a disciple of His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj, is the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs of the Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapeeth Research Center at Govardhan Eco Village, GEV. He is a member of ISKCON Board of Examinations. He holds a master degree from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He teaches Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Vaishnav character courses at GV and several places in India. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has written several books including Gita Subodhini, Bhagavad Subodhini, Chaitanya Subodhini, Disapproved but not disowned, Bhagavad Prava, and the Gita, the Jewel Box. He has special fondness for reciting and meditating on scriptural verses and has compiled shaloka books, namely Gita Ratanmala, Bhagavad Ratanmala, Chaitanya Ratanmala, and Bhagavad Tatvamala. He also runs a free monthly e-magazine called Bhagavad Pradipika and regularly writes educational and devotional articles that also appear in the Back to Godhead magazine, international and multiple Indian language editions. He's known for his lucid spiritual talks with captivating visuals and also presentations that give a bird's eye view of an entire book or a section. So far, he has delivered over 4,500 of spiritual discourses. He has guided several students in their Shastric study. He also oversees the deity worship at Govardhan Eco Village. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nishita Bhakti Mataji, for the introduction. Hare Krishna Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving us your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Without further ado, I'd like to request you to please take over from here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter number 4, Text number 24. Teshamāvirabhūdvāni Ārupa Meghanishvana Sannādayanti Kakubhaham Sadhunam Abhayankari. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Then there appeared before them a transcendental sound vibration emanating from a personality not visible to material eyes. The voice was as grave as the sound of a cloud, and it was very encouraging, driving away all fear. Next also we have to do 25, no purport. I'll read the translation. You can scroll down. The voice of the Lord vibrated as follows. O best of learned persons, do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers. For these are certainly meant to award benedictions to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. Purport. Sometimes people are very much eager to see God. In considering the word Mad Darshanam, seeing me, which is mentioned in this verse, one should note that in Bhagavad Gita the Lord says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. In other words, the ability to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or to see Him, or talk with Him, depends on one's advancement in devotional service, which is called Bhakti. In Bhakti, there are 9 different activities: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoha Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Because all these devotional activities are absolute, there is no fundamental difference between worshipping the deity in the temple, seeing him, and chanting his glories. Indeed, all of these are ways to seeing him. For everything done in devotional service is a means of direct contact with the Lord. The vibration of the Lord's voice appeared in the presence of all devotees, and although the person vibrating the sound was unseen to them, they were meeting or seeing the Lord because they were offering prayers and because the vibration of the Lord was present. Contrary to the laws of material world, there is no difference between seeing the Lord, offering prayers, and hearing the transcendental vibration. Pure devotees, therefore, are fully satisfied by glorifying the Lord. Such glorification is called Kirtana. Performing Kirtan and hearing the vibration of the sound Hare Krishna is actually seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must realize this position, and then one will be able to understand the absolute nature of the Lord's activities. Hare Krishna. This section, these few verses that we just read, are describing the Devata's attempts to request Lord Vishnu to do something about Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu received benedictions from Lord Brahma, and he became very powerful because Brahma has given very special boons to Hiranyakashipu. He cannot be killed during the daytime, during the night time, in the house or outside the house, or on the land, in the sky. He cannot be killed by any weapon or a human being or an animal or a devata or anyone who is within the creation. So here Hiranyakashipu became very powerful. Generally, these I can't see anyone here. Everybody kept their video off, so I'm alone here. That's all right, no problem. Up to you. Hiranyakashipu received so many boons by worshipping the Lord, by doing meditation for such a long time, by controlling his mind and senses for such a long time. They exhibit so much of sense control to get boons, but as soon as they get boons, they give up their sense control. They become victims of uncontrolled senses. That's the nature of material austerities. Okay. So materialistic austerities that are intended to get some material boons induce only sense gratificatory desires. Whatever sense control, mind control that these people exhibit during their worship, during their meditation, is only a means for them to enjoy exaggerated sense gratification as soon as the boon that they wanted has been achieved. But bhakti is totally different. In bhakti yoga, in the process of devotional service, we see that devotees practice Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. At this moment, one may not have so much of affection and attraction towards the Lord, but still as a practice they chant the holy names. They may not be getting tears from their eyes while chanting the holy names. They may not be having hair standing on end while hearing Krishna Katha in the practice stage. In the neophyte stage, in the preliminary stage of bhakti, one may not exhibit all kinds of ecstatic symptoms. However, when one continues the path of bhakti, when one continues to render devotional service in practice, naturally they will develop the taste for bhakti, they will advance in bhakti, and they will not leave the process of bhakti even after perfection. But all these materialistic austerities are totally different. They perform austerities not to eternally continue austerities. As soon as the boon is achieved, forget austerity, forget sense control, forget mind control. Let's become a slave of senses. That's what Hiranyakashipu did. But bhakti is not like that. The goal and the means are same. The activities that we do during sadhana stage, we will continue to do the same activities in Saddha stage also, after attaining perfection in bhakti also. But at that time, the kind of activities that we do are filled with love for Krishna. Now we are trying to cultivate that love. Once we cultivate that love, we continue the same activities. Shravanam will continue, Kirtanam will continue, Smaranam will continue, Padasevanam will continue. So now Hiranyakashipu performed so many austerities and he got a lot of boons. And he occupied the heavenly kingdom, and he also started tormenting all the devatas. And finally, all the devatas were unable to bear this torture, and they went to the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, and requested him, can you please do something about it? The Lord said, I am already aware of your problems. Okay. Even before we express our problems to the Lord is aware of the problems. And when the right time comes, the Lord actually addresses these issues. That does not mean we don't offer prayers. Prayer is an opportunity for us to express our devotion to the Lord. Calamity is an opportunity for us to offer prayer to the Lord. Right? So we need to learn this art of utilizing all kinds of pleasant and unpleasant situations in life as opportunities to come closer to Krishna. It's a happy moment, go to Krishna, thank him. It's a sad moment, go to Krishna, pray, express your dependence, remember Krishna, right? Then also you can thank him. Thank you for purifying my anarthas by giving me this opportunity to encounter these reversals. So like that, moment by moment, a devotee is very grateful and very prayerful to the Lord. So as long as we have that prayerful attitude, we are in touch with the Lord. And that's what Prabhupada said throughout the purport. All these devatas, when they offered prayers to the Lord was not visible to them, but the Lord was audible to them. Although he wasn't visible, he was audible. His voice was heard by all these devatas. Now, when Narada Muni was a son of maidservant in his past life, he also tried to meditate on the Lord. He was meditating on the Supreme Lord according to the process that was taught to him by all the great sages, Bhaktivedanta sages. He was sitting under a tree on the bank of a river, lake, and then he was meditating, and he was able to see the Lord for a few moments. And the Lord immediately withdrew his darshan. Narada Muni again tried to close his eyes and again tried to concentrate, focus, so that he will be able to see the Lord. But he could not. He could not see. Why? The Lord started speaking at this moment. My dear Narada, you are not completely freed from material taints. Those who are not completely freed from material taints will not get my continuous darshan. I gave you a little bit of darshan just for a few moments, just to increase your hankering for me, just so that your heart becomes more and more eager and enthusiastic to savor that taste once again. Okay, that is the purpose of my giving you darshan. So the Lord is very special. The way he deals with his devotees is very unique. All the devotee is just longing for the Lord. The devotee is really crying and yearning and pleading and begging for the darshan of the Lord, for some mercy of the Lord. The Lord will keep the devotee in waiting list. You wait. You know this story of Prataparudra Maharaj. Prataparudra Maharaj wanted to have the darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a personal meeting of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu was not at all accepting. The reason that he gave also is not very strong reason from bhakti perspective. Although Mahaprabhu himself said, "Na ham vipro na cha narapater na pi vaishyo na sudro, na ham varni na cha grahapater no vanastho yatirvam, kintu prodyan nikhila paramananda purnamrutabdher, gopi bhartuhu kad padakavalayor dasa dasanudasaha." Mahaprabhu said, "I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Shudra." Mahaprabhu said, "I am not a Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Brahmachari, Sannyasi. I am Gopi Bhartuhu Padakamalayur Dasa, 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 Dasanudasaha. I am servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis, of the master of the gopis of Vrindavan. Tvad Bhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Itivam Smara Lokanatha." He said that. But here Mahaprabhu is over-identifying himself as a sannyasi, not as Dasanudas of the gopis. So he is identifying himself as a sannyasi. I am a sannyasi and he is a king, Kshatriya. He is a wealthy man. He is a man of dollars and rupees. So I will not meet him. What happened to your shloka? Naham vipro na chanarapatir napi vaishyo na sudro. And Mahaprabhu is saying that, oh, let Prajapatra Maharaj be on the waiting list. I will not give him darshan. Okay. Not waiting list. He said, I will never see him. Who is recommending? Nityananda Prabhu is recommending. Sarabham Bhattacharya is recommending. Ramananda is recommending. When such exalted devotees are recommending, still Mahaprabhu says, I will not give him darshan. Because he is a king, I am a sannyasi. He is over-identifying himself as a sannyasi, apparently. Why? Just so that we understand the glories of Prataparudra Maharaj. Prataparudra Maharaj was ready to give up his kingdom. If my being a king is an obstacle for me to see the beautiful form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, to get a private audience of Lord Chaitanya, let me give up this kingdom. Let me give up this throne. I don't want treasury. I don't want soldiers. I don't want ministers. I don't want queens. I don't want anything. I will just come on the roads as a beggar, just so that I get an opportunity to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If Mahaprabhu had immediately given darshan, oh, he's a king, no problem, let him come. Naham vipro chanarapatir. Let's have a meeting. Let me embrace him, let me hug him. So if Mahaprabhu had said it, we would not have witnessed this dedication and determination and devotion of Prataparudra Maharaj. Even when the Lord makes his devotee undergo some turmoil, some difficulty, some long waiting, although the Lord's dealing with a devotee seems very inappropriate and unjust and so much of mistreatment, still the Lord is completely justified. Let us not unnecessarily blame the Lord. Let us not suspect the Lord's integrity and intentions. The Lord is our genuine well-wisher. No one can be our well-wisher as much as Krishna can be. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhrudam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti mrithyati. Only when we understand that Krishna is our supreme well-wisher, only we will be peaceful. We will continue to get agitated, distracted, demotivated, discouraged, and devastated till the point we understand that Krishna is my well-wisher. We will be peaceful, we'll be pacified, we'll be happy, we'll be calm, we'll be cool, only when we are completely convinced that Krishna is my well-wisher. When that conviction is not there, that faith that Krishna is my well-wisher is not there, Till then, there is always a reason for getting agitated, getting distracted, getting demotivated, so many things, becoming dysfunctional. That faith, the trust on the Lord's intentions and integrity is the hallmark of a devotee, sincere devotee. When there is a difficulty in life, do we suspect Krishna's intentions? If I suspect Krishna's intentions just because there is some difficulty, how can I be called a devotee? You know, Kritadyuti, the wife of the queen of Chitraketu Maharaj, he married 1 crore wives, but he did not have a single child. He married 1 wife and he did not get a child. Second wife, no child. Third wife, no child. 1 crore wives, no child. Finally, Angiri Rishi came and conducted some sacrifice. He got 1 little baby boy through the first wife Kritadyuti. The remaining 1 crore minus 1 wives, they became envious of Kritadyuti. They killed this boy by poisoning the child, and the child died. Then Kritadyuti started blaming the Lord. Oh Lord, are you really Lord? You act like an inexperienced child. How can a child die during the lifetime of his father? Father is living and the child died. You are going against your own creative laws. When there is some difficulty, there is a tendency to blame the Lord. There is an inclination to suspect the intentions of the Lord when there is a difficulty. When our devotion is not mature, we tend to blame. But when there is mature devotion, yes, we express gratitude. And that is the time where our deep inner emotions just come out. That's where our faith will be revealed to the world and will be revealed to ourselves. Only when the question paper is tough, then we will understand how much the student understood the subject. Okay, if the question paper is very easy, some few MCQ questions are given, or some small fill in the blanks are given, very simple and obvious questions are given, then where is the test for your knowledge? Only when a tough question is given in the exam, and when you happen to answer it, then you can prove yourself to be a good student. Yes, Krishiva, Shweta, right? When you answer a tough question, then you are seen like a good student. When you answer very easy questions, yeah, it's great, but it's not that great. So, how much faith do we have on Krishna? How much do we trust Krishna's intentions and integrity? That is a litmus test for our maturity in bhakti. We will be called as mature devotees to the degree we dedicate ourselves to Krishna consciousness despite all kinds of difficulties and distractions and allurements and temptations. No temptations, therefore I was able to chant. Even in the midst of so much of temptation and allurement and distractions, will you be able to chant? Will you be able to take shelter of the Lord? These are all tests. So coming back to, we are getting into loops of multiple examples. So we were discussing the example of Prataparudra Maharaj. Prataparudra Maharaj was kept in waiting for such a long time by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Prataparudra Maharaj was ready to relinquish all his opulences, but he was always hopeful and he was always desirous of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Okay. Now, eventually, Mahaprabhu also gave him that darshan during the Ratha Yatra, when Prataparudra Maharaj started chanting Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham. When he chanted these Gopi Gita songs, Mahaprabhu gave him full mercy in the garb of not knowing him. Because Prataparudra Maharaj came and started singing Gopi Gita, Mahaprabhu became very impressed and asked him, "Who are you? Who are you?" Then Prataparudra Maharaj has to say the truth. I'm the king. I'm the king. No, he dressed himself like a normal person, not like a king. He did not go with his big mukut and then a knife here, a sword here, or bow and arrows. He did not go like that. He went like an ordinary person, normal person, simple dhoti kurta. He doesn't look like a king. But Mahaprabhu asked him, "Who are you?" Then he's supposed to reveal his identity. I'm a king. But he did not say I'm a king, because he never identified himself like a king. You know what was the reply that he gave? I am a servant of the servant of the servant of devotees. Okay. He has that genuine mood of being a servant of Vaishnavas. Therefore, he gave that answer. That's a greater reality than his being a king. It's not that Pratapradar Maharaj is very smart in giving this reply. It's not smartness. It is his devotion. It is his genuinity. It is his honest feeling that I am a servant of Vaishnavas. So Mahaprabhu blessed him. Coming back to this Narada Muni's example, in his past life, he was the son of a maid servant. He was meditating on the Lord. And within that meditation, the Lord was visible to him. And the Lord withdrew his darshan. And Narada Muni was again trying to concentrate to see the Lord, but the Lord said, no, I won't be able to give you any more darshans because you are not completely purified. Why did the Lord say like that? Narada Muni had absolutely no material taints, although the Lord said it. Narada Muni was on the level of prema. Up to bhava, there may be some anarthas, some small traces of anarthas and distractions. Narada Muni came to the level of prema. How can he have any anarthas? How can he have any material taints? But the Lord said it so that Narada Muni becomes more humble. He's already humble. But actually the Lord's intention is, Narada Muni, you definitely came to the level of prema, but your prema is in infancy stage. I want your infant prema to become youthful prema. An infant baby is also a human being with hands and legs and eyes. A youthful person is also having hands and legs and eyes and all the limbs. But the senses of a young person who is in youth, full youth, they are more developed, they are more stronger. They can express well. A small infant baby cannot. This is also human being, that is also human being. Similarly, prema in the preliminary stages cannot completely experience Krishna's prema, cannot completely express one's own prema to the Lord. When prema is in very condensed state, high state, youthful state, that's where you can express in a more mature manner. The Lord wanted to intensify his prema. That's why the Lord keeps some of his devotees in separation. Some of the devotees undergo a lot of difficulties, a lot of pains. The Lord keeps them in separation purposely, just so that they long for the Lord more. Now let's come to the example of the gopis of Vrindavan. Krishna played his flute, and all the gopis of Vrindavan left everything that they are doing and ran towards Krishna in the middle of the night into the forest. They left everything. Pati sutanvayad bhratrubandhava ati vilangyate nyachyutagata. So they gave up Pati, Sutta, Bhratru, Bandhava, their fathers, their husbands, their parents, their children, their brothers, everyone. They have given up, they came to Krishna. And Krishna said, oh, gopis, why did you come in the middle of the night? At this time, so many ferocious animals are moving. You are just simple, tender ladies. You cannot survive in this fierce forest. And it is not proper for you to give up your families and come here. Please go back. And he started giving some teachings. Then the gopis said, Kitavayoshitaha kastyajen nishi. You called us into this forest. And you're asking us to get out, go away. Kitavayoshitaha. You are a cheater. They chastised. No one dares to chastise Krishna except the residents of Vrindavan. Okay. So then Krishna started dancing with them. And they felt very happy. They became very, very happy to get such an intimate, personal reciprocation of the Lord. And they became slightly proud, transcendently proud. Krishna left them in the middle and he disappeared from the scene. And all the gopis are again perturbed. They were in extreme distress. They were in pain of separation from Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you just began dance and you disappeared. See how much Krishna is playing with the gopis. It seems very, very unjust. He called them and he said, go back. But they kind of insisted. Then, okay, fine, no problem, stay here. Then he danced with them. Within few minutes, again Krishna disappeared. And the gopis are wandering everywhere like mad people. They were asking the trees, they were asking the creepers, they were asking the forest animals and birds. Everywhere they were searching, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? But Krishna was not visible. Then finally, Krishna came in front of them after a long search when they sang the song of separation, the Gopi Gita. Then as soon as they saw Krishna, they had smiles on their faces. They were very happy. Then they asked Krishna a riddle. So please remember this. 3 options they give. Krishna, we have an MCQ for you. Okay. Option number 1. There are 3 categories of people who reciprocate with others. Option number 1 is, if you help them, they will help you. If you serve them, they will serve you. If you love them, they will love you. Basically, their reciprocation to you is dependent on how you deal with them. When you are good with them, they are also good with you. That is first category. Second category is, even if you don't reciprocate with them properly, they will reciprocate with you. Even if you don't treat them properly, they will treat you nicely. It's like parents. Sometimes even if children are not very well behaved, or they may shout back, or they may speak some things which are not very pleasant, parents never give up their love for the children. Okay. So the second category. So third category is, they're indifferent. Whether you treat them with love or you don't treat them with love, they are totally oblivious to it, right? We don't reciprocate with anyone. We don't show our love or affection towards anyone. So we are totally oblivious to everything. So that is third category. Krishna, which category do you belong to? 1, 2, or 3? Yes, which category? Who will say answer? Krishna, did you hear the 3 categories in your own? You want to say, Shweta? Which category does Krishna belong to out of these 3?
Prabhu, I think the third one.
Third one,
I
Krishna is
think all
indifferent.
the category suits. Everything suits. Everything suits Prabhuji.
Oh, wow, that's a smart answer. All the above. She said all the above. Okay, actually you're right. All the above. But Krishna said none of the above. Okay, all the category 1, 2, 3, all 3 suit Krishna. Krishna said none of the above. Okay, I belong to the 4th category. The gopis said, we never kept a 4th category only. Krishna said, no, I am introducing a new category. So in MCQ questions, generally 4 options are there. You only give 3 options. Let me give the 4th option. I belong to that category. What is that 4th category? Krishna said, I purposely don't reciprocate with my devotees just to increase their longing for me. If I don't bless my devotees, if I don't respond to my devotees' requests, then their eagerness to meet me will be increased. They will be more enthusiastic to connect with me. They become more prayerful. They remember me more. I purposely keep my devotees in separation by not reciprocating with them, although they deserve reciprocation. I belong to the 4th category. All the gopis of Vrindavan had smiles on their faces. But actually, even 4th category is not correct. There is 5th category. So Krishna belongs to the 5th category. This we are introducing. So 4th category Krishna introduced. 5th category we are introducing. What is the 5th category? Actually, Krishna only said it after some time. Not immediately, but after some time. Naparayeham niravadya samyujam. Krishna said, my dear gopis, I don't have the ability to reciprocate with you. Because the kind of service that you have done to me, the kind of commitment and dedication that you showed in your relationship with me, in your service to me, is so much, so immense, that I don't have the ability to completely reciprocate with your devotion. I feel completely bankrupt. I don't have the ability to repay my debt to you. Even if you give me one full lifetime of Brahma to repay my debt to you, I just cannot repay. Naparayeham, I cannot repay. His Holiness Shivaram Maharaj writes a book, such a big book. The title is Naparayeham. Naparayeham is the title of the book. So, I cannot repay you. That's the title of the book. So, Krishna feels completely bankrupt and incapable of sufficiently reciprocating with the amount of service and the devotion that is exhibited by the gopis of Vrindavan. Okay, Krishna belongs to the 5th category. Actually speaking, Krishna belongs to all 5 categories. Krishna belongs to all 5 categories. What Shweta said is correct. She said all the above, right? First, what was the first category? If you reciprocate, and if you approach him in a certain way, Krishna will reciprocate in a similar way. That is correct, definitely. Ye yathama prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham. If you approach him in certain way, Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. Therefore, Krishna belongs to first category. That's correct. Second category. What is second category? Even if you don't reciprocate, even if you don't worship, even if you don't approach Krishna with love and affection, Krishna will show love and affection. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Even if living beings commit so many sinful activities, still Krishna agrees to stay within their hearts as super soul. Krishna as super soul is present in a pure devotee's heart also, in a materialistic person's heart also, in an animal's heart also, in a bird's heart also, in a human being's heart also, in Devata's heart also. Right? He's there in everybody's hearts. He's equal. Right? He has affection. He has affection towards everyone. So therefore, Krishna is Krishna belongs to second category also. Clear? How does Krishna belong to third category? How is it justified? How can Krishna be indifferent? Kunti Maharani says this in her prayers. She says, Namo akinchana vittaya nivritta guna vrittaye atma ramaya shantaya kaivalya pataye namaha. Atma ramaya shantaya. Krishna is self-satisfied. He doesn't need your worship. He's indifferent. Whether you give him a plate full of jewels or a handful of poha, sweet rice, flat rice, not sweet rice, flat rice, whether your offering is very meager or expensive, Krishna is not impressed with this. He remains neutral. He remains indifferent. He is not dependent on our worship. And especially, he is indifferent or Atmaram or Shanta to people who are monists, impersonalists, who don't consider him having a form. You don't consider me having a form? No problem, fine, no problem. I'll remain like this, you remain like that. He's indifferent, he's neutral. Krishna says, he says that, Naham prakashah sarvasya yoga maya samavritah. I am not obliged to reveal myself or prove my existence in front of a person who has a tendency to challenge my existence. Some people say, God doesn't exist. Okay, let them say. What's my problem? I have no problem. Let them say. I'm neutral. I'm indifferent. If they say I don't exist, that's their problem, not my problem. I exist. I exist for those people who believe me, who trust me. Right? If some people doubt me, that's their problem. So Krishna is neutral. He's indifferent. Fine. So he belongs to third category also. Fourth category, definitely Krishna created a situation of separation between himself and the gopis, and himself and Narada Muni in his past life. In many situations, Krishna created a situation of separation between himself and his devotees, just so that the devotees pray to Krishna more intensely. Devotees long for Krishna's association more intensely. Therefore, he belongs to fourth category. But only in the case of gopis and Vrajavasis, Krishna belongs to fifth category. Krishna feels himself incapable of sufficiently reciprocating with the gopis of Vrindavan. Krishna further says that I am not capable enough to reciprocate with your love and affection, but you be satisfied with whatever devotion you have. Swasadhu krityam. Whatever devotion that you showed, whatever service that you have done to me, you be satisfied with that. What does it mean? When we sincerely render service to Krishna, when we serve Krishna selflessly, without any motivations, without any interruptions, that uninterrupted, unmotivated service to Krishna can completely satisfy our hearts. And in comparison to this satisfaction, there is no other means for satisfaction. The best way to derive spiritual satisfaction of heart is only to hear Harikatha, only to selflessly serve Krishna. Okay. And Prabhupada also writes these 9 processes of bhakti in the purport. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. When we do them sincerely, the kind of satisfaction that we get by doing all these activities sincerely is the highest satisfaction available in the cosmos, and even Krishna does not have anything else to give us. All of us should aspire for that satisfaction of heart. Now, in this context, when Hiranyakashipu is torturing the Devatas and all the people in this universe, all of them are praying to the Lord, oh Lord, please protect us, please protect us. then the Lord spoke to them. Although the Lord was not visible to them, the Lord spoke to them. Prabhupada writes in the purport. You can see there are a couple of statements where Prabhupada said that seeing the Lord and hearing the Lord or remembering the Lord, all of them are on same plane. Sometimes the Lord may give us darshan and we are connecting with the Lord. Sometimes the Lord may not give darshan, but the Lord becomes audible to us. We will be able to hear the Lord. That is also fine. So where is that? Here. There is no difference between the fourth line from bottom. Contrary to the laws of material world, there is no difference between seeing the Lord, offering prayers, and hearing the transcendental vibration. So these devotees were unable to see the Lord, but they were offering prayers and the Lord is hearing them. The Lord is speaking to them and they are able to hear. So hearing from the Lord or hearing about the Lord is equal to seeing the Lord, is equal to meeting the Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when we trust Krishna's words in Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, Krishna is personally speaking to us. So we will be able to perceive the personal presence of Krishna to the degree we read Bhagavad Gita with sincerity. We hear Krishna's pastimes with sincerity. Then we will be able to see Krishna's presence in every page of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada writes, how to see Krishna's presence in every page of Srimad Bhagavatam? By following this sincere process of dedication, sincerity in whatever devotional activities that we are doing. And Prabhupada also brings it down to pure eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So once we are pure in our basic regulative principles, then we will come to the mode of goodness, and at that level we start following the process of bhakti. Then we will be able to see Krishna in every page of Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada is also writing here. He is emphasizing on the importance of absorbing ourselves in all these elements of bhakti. Now, what is the effect of hearing from the Lord or hearing about the Lord? There is one beautiful shloka in the third canto. Ashesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare kimva punastacharana ravinda paraga seva ratiratma labdha. Ashesha sanklesha shamam vidhatti. Ashesha means unlimited. Sanklesha means lot of difficulties. Shamam vidhatte. All kinds of miseries and difficulties are completely eradicated when we hear Harikatha. Ashesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare. When we hear the qualities of Krishna, all difficulties are completely eradicated. No, you are hearing about Krishna. So many devotees have been hearing about Krishna for several years. Are you experiencing a situation where you are unaffected by, or where you are not seeing any calamity in life? Yes, there are calamities. Calamities continue to exist in the life of a Bhagavatam reader or a materialistic person. They exist. But these calamities don't overwhelm the heart of a devotee, because a devotee is experiencing prema of Krishna. Therefore, devotees are unaffected by the tribulations of this world. Okay. Tadrik premadharanu madhuna mattayamanam tume. When a devotee tries to remember Krishna and tries to absorb oneself in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and all these activities of Krishna, the Krishna conscious activities, to that degree, devotee is unaffected by the difficulties of this material world. The temptations and tribulations of this material world cannot affect a devotee who is absorbed in the devotional activities of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Okay. So we should not complain that Krishna is not visible to me. Krishna personally taught Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Now no one is there to teach me. I am not being personally taught by Krishna. Arjuna's privilege, he can be Krishna conscious, I cannot be Krishna conscious. No, when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is personally talking to us. When we're reading Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is personally speaking to us, provided we have that consciousness. Okay. So that's what Prabhupada is encouraging us. Please be prayerful. When we offer prayers, we are connecting with Krishna. Okay. When we are hearing Harikatha, we are connecting with Krishna. We are feeling the presence of Krishna. Asesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare. After doing shravanam, what are we supposed to do? We have to do seva. So by hearing, we gather a lot of knowledge. But how will that knowledge be converted into realization? We hear so much. We gather so much knowledge and we fill our books with so much of notes. We make so much notes. But how will these notes enter the heart? Okay. How will all these points will manifest in the heart? How will we assimilate, absorb, internalize, realize them, and put them in practice? How will we be able to effectively respond maturely on the spur of the moment? The answer is when we render service to devotees. Service will give us an opportunity to put all the teachings that we are gathering through hearing into practice. So even in schools also, the teacher may give some lesson, give a lecture, science, something is taught, chemistry is taught in the classroom, but there's a chemistry lab, so that you mix all the chemicals and see the effect. What is the effect of this mixture? How much proportion should we mix these two chemicals to get this effect? When we personally see, practically see it, then we will understand it better. So, of course, some things we should not practically experience to understand them. Just like Prabhupada gives this example, somebody steals money from others and the person is arrested. Okay, is kept in jail for a while. Then he will understand, oh, stealing is bad. We don't have to steal personally to understand that stealing is bad. We can just hear what happened to the thief and then we can understand it. So that kind of understanding we should gain. But some things must be practically seen. So stealing is bad, I will be arrested. Just by hearing you can understand. But if I eat some tasty item, if I eat idli here and I say it's very tasty, it's very soft, the idli is like butter only and the chutney is so like nectar, I keep saying this, you will not get any experience unless you eat it, right? You have to eat it, then only you will get experience, right? Some things by hearing we should understand, some things by experience only we can understand, we can relish it, right? So we need to understand what to understand by hearing and what to understand by experiencing. So both. So we need to experience, we need to gain knowledge and wisdom through both. Therefore, the shloka says, Asesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare kim va punastacharana ravinda paraga seva ratiratma labdha. Seva. If Shravanam can give you so much effect, so much transcendental result of not being affected by miseries in this world, how much seva will give you? How much result seva can give you? Therefore, in the 4th chapter Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam gnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Okay. So, pranipata, be respectful and submissive in front of your spiritual teachers. Then ask pariprashna. In such a humble mood, submissive mood, you ask questions, relevant questions, not tangential questions, relevant questions. Okay. Then after that, you should do seva. Pariprashnena sevaya. Once you render service, your understanding of the answer is complete. If service is not there, answer, we understand, and it goes into intelligence only. It doesn't get into the heart and it doesn't manifest in our actions, right? So, pariprashna, seva, and pranipat, submissiveness, all three are required to get a complete knowledge and wisdom and realization. Okay, so service is repeatedly emphasized. Now, all these devotees are engaged in multiple services to the Lord, to the Vaishnavas, Therefore, they are getting opportunities to apply all these principles. Sometimes we ask a question. After some time, we ask the same question again. After a few months. Why? We already got the answer, a logical answer, but we could not retain it. We could not assimilate it. We could not apply it because we did not accept the opportunity of seva, service. Service gives us an opportunity to either demonstrate the qualities, Vaishnava qualities, or develop Vaishnava qualities. We hear in Bhagavad Gita, amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshantirajyavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, sthiryam, atmavinigraha. So we keep hearing all these glorious qualities, but we may not be able to put them in practice. But when we are doing service with other devotees, that service gives us an opportunity to either develop these qualities or demonstrate these qualities if we have them, if we have already developed. Okay. So then, but beginning is Shravana. Okay. And in this current context, when all the devatas are offering prayers to the Lord is not visible but audible. The Lord said that I already understood what you are going through. Even when Brahma also in the beginning of creation, when he was meditating on the Lord, he was anxious, what am I supposed to do now? The Lord said, Brahma, what you have been praying for has already been bestowed upon you. All that we can do is only desiring to serve Krishna. But the necessary facility and empowerment and assistance to execute that service comes from Krishna. We know this example of Dhruva. Dhruva looked at the Lord after 6 months of his tapasya and he immediately wanted to offer prayers to the Lord. Fine. Then Dhruva did not have the necessary vocabulary or experience to offer prayers. What did the Lord do? The Lord touched his conch to Dhruva's forehead. And entire Vedic knowledge is revealed to Dhruva. And he offered prayers. Yo antaha pravishya bhavacha bimam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shakti dharasvadhamnam anyamscha hastacharana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Oh Lord, you have entered within me, antaha pravishya mama vacha bimam prasuptam. You have awakened my power of speech. You have awakened all my senses so that I can actively serve you. Okay. So the Lord has been very kind enough upon several devotees, and he is the one who has given them the opportunity, facility, and assistance to do a lot of services. And what was devotee's role? Desiring to serve the Lord. Okay. We hear sincerely from bona fide sources, and we develop desire to serve the Lord and Vaishnavas, devotees, and the Lord will arrange for all the necessary facilities and opportunities to do that service. When there is no desire only, there is no opportunity. When there is only desire to complain, criticize, and confront with people, you will find 100 faults to complain. But when you keep searching for opportunities to serve, you will also find hundreds of opportunities to serve. Basically, the Lord will facilitate things in our life according to what we deserve, what we desire. Okay. So now these people, these devatas were saying, please relieve us from the pains caused by Hiranyakashipu. The Lord said, I already know whatever you are going through. I will definitely relieve you from all kinds of pains. You don't worry. I'll take care. When Hiranyakashipu troubles my devotee Prahlad, I will not spare him anymore. I will appear as Narasimhadev from the pillar and I will just strip him apart. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam. So to make the words of my devotee true, I will appear personally. Okay, so this is the promise given by the Lord, and the Lord will never go back on his promise. Even a truthful person, a normal person in this world also will never go back on his promises. How can the Lord go back on his promise? So we should trust the Lord, trust the promises of the Lord. So all this discussion that we have been having in the last 1 hour is relevant and is actionable, is implementable and relatable to us to the degree we have faith in Krishna, right? Faith or Shraddha or trust in Krishna's intentions and Krishna's integrity is that way by which we are able to access all the blessings of the Lord. So the Lord reciprocates according to the degree of our faith. When we keep doubting the Lord's intentions, then the Lord says, okay, fine, no problem. We have some time, some more time to go. Okay, so with this I'll conclude. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Tanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very beautiful class again, Prabhuji. So many nice shlokas you chanted and such a beautiful class. I love the statement sadhana to siddha. Hopefully we can do sadhana, somebody like me, before even thinking of the next stages. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhu. Dear devotees, if anyone has any questions for Prabhuji, please raise your hand. I think Anita Mataji is there. Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Danva Pranam. Ask to
Hare
unmute.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Am I audible, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a nice class. So in the class, lastly, we were saying that when we do the seva, we will have that, we will get the opportunity to develop the Vaishnava quality. So in what context you were saying, Prabhuji, like Vaishnava quality means like humility and tolerance, you were saying?
Yes. Of course, these are Vaishnava qualities. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshantirajam. We quoted that shloka, right?
Yes.
Prideless, humility, tolerance, patience, satisfaction, gravity. How many of these qualities do we have? Our
Obviously,
services
in my case,
will reveal.
okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, I got that. So obviously, in my case, I should develop more, I think, because when we do sevas, yes, as you said, I can visualize myself like where I'm going wrong, and I don't know how to come back, how to control that, that appearance. So, can you give some ways to deal with the devotees, Prabhuji? Like there are many conflicts, right, with the devotees when we do the seva. Some means like not all the time. Sometimes we will have some conflicts. So at that time, how to respond to that?
There are conflicts, differences of opinion, different working styles, chemistry mismatch, priority mismatch, incompatibility when we are working with other devotees. But we need to keep higher principle. We need to always keep our focus on higher principle of whoever is chanting can just keep themselves on mute. We need to keep our focus on the higher principle of service to Guru and Krishna, pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So when we focus on that higher principle of pleasure of Guru and Krishna in picture, we will just ignore the differences and we'll try to adjust, we'll try to be flexible, we try to adjust with other devotees. But when our focus is not on the higher principle of service to Guru and Krishna, but if it is on our own selfish agendas, or my opinion should be taken first. I should be the person whose opinion should always be on the top, right? I cannot accept domination by others. Whatever I say should happen. If these are our priorities, although you may desire to serve Krishna, but some flexibility, some malleability, some adjustment according to the will of other Vaishnavas must be there for us to cooperate. Now, this example, this principle is very vividly demonstrated in the Samudra Manthan episode. If devatas and demons can come together and cooperate with each other for the higher principle of getting nectar from the milk ocean, can't we cooperate with other devotees? We are not at least collaborating with demons. Their demons and devatas, they collaborated for the higher purpose of getting nectar. And here, we need to collaborate with other devotees, sadhaka bhaktas. There may be differences of opinion. Okay. Sometimes their opinions must be given preference. Sometimes, for all practical purposes, we may have to push our opinion. Okay. Not in an egoistic way, but for the purpose of rendering service to Krishna more effectively. Someone who is not so experienced is just over enthusiastically giving some inputs and pushing their point. But you, being a more experienced person, may have to tell, hey, this is not the right way to do. I have experienced this before also. It's proved that this is an ineffective way of doing things. So you may have to push there. But the attitude is service. The mood is service to Krishna. Okay, not self-importance. Makes sense,
Yeah.
Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understood. So the understanding is like what I got is we should get out of the false ego. So and we have to think that we are doing this service only for the pleasure of the Lord. So that's how we can get out of this conflicts. Means like we have to.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So I do have one more question, Prabhuji. Can I ask?
Yeah.
So there are many raised hands. So if you have time, then I will ask lastly. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Shri Ishopanishad Mataji, Hare Krishna Tanda Pranam. You can go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hari Hari Bol. Jai Prabhu. Thank you so much for your comforting class. It's really wonderful to just to know that when you're interacting in these different activities, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Padasevanam, you're actually interacting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I think that is so comforting. It encourages one to do it more and more and more. So I just wanted to say thank you for just, reiterating on that particular important point. And it encourages me to read more, to have more interaction and association. Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice realization, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Our dear Prahlad Prabhuji is here. Hare Krishna, Prahlad Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You're hearing me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much. Dhanvat Pranam to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas, Matajis. Prabhuji, I have a question regarding Sravanam Bhakti, which we do. Sometimes I understand that in glorification of the Lord, there are some unauthentic kind of glorification is there, or maybe it is not in the Shastra. Do we accept it or not? Like that. I understand there is one episode in which Lakshman Rekha is mentioned, and I understand it is nowhere in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, there are some kind of authentication in the 11th canto where I understand there is a slok which says that, even if such a glorification is Laukik, it's not Vedic, still it is acceptable. I just wanted to know whether my understanding is correct or not, or do you have some more information about this? I just wanted to know that. Probably if you can.
You are asking about Lakshman Rekha in Ramayana?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Valmiki Ramayana doesn't mention many details.
Right.
Some details are not there. But if we are getting certain information from bona fide authorized Vaishnava resources, then we can take it as authentic. Just like Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't give all the details of all the topics that Bhagavatam is presenting. For example, cosmology is there. In the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, certain details of the universal structure are given, but all the details are not given. There are other books like Bhugola Varnan and then some Acharya's commentary, some 10 of them. We have one devotee, Pavaneshwar Prabhu. He went so deep into this cosmology and then he made a 3D model of the universe. And he also wrote a book on Bhagavata cosmology, right? So there are extra details. If the details are coming from authorized sources, then we accept. If not, we don't accept. But one book may not provide all the details.
Right. But is there any kind of authentication that you can accept such a glorification which is not mentioned in the Shastras, but it's very much prachalit in our culture and all that. So I was looking for that slok in 11th canto by now Yogendra somewhere. I just wanted to know if you had
Now,
studied
there
this
are,
kind of.
yes, some things may not be Shastric version,
Uh-huh.
but some things come out of deep realizations of very exalted and advanced devotees.
Okay.
Therefore, our understanding of philosophy is not just a product of Shastric study. It is also Guru Sadhu Shastra.
I see.
Right? Only Shastra is like you're just giving importance to only one. But Guru and Sadhus are also there, right? So the Sadhus are genuine and Guru is Vaishnava Guru. So their version, their realizations, their reflections also we take it as authentic. They will be ultimately in alignment with Shastra, although they may not be mentioned in Shastra. So Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So this triangle is important.
Is this termed as Utpreksha, Prabhuji? We call it Utpreksha.
Is important.
This same or
Also, since
different?
this is confirming, Sadhu is confirming, we can accept it as a.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Any other question?
Prabhuji, there are 2 questions in chat box from our Radha Jyoti Mataji. Prabhuji, could you
Please teach
again?
what a straightforward person should do to be more polite towards others. Actually, Vaishnava is supposed to be straightforward. That's one of the qualities of a Vaishnava. To be simple and straightforward. Saralata is a quality of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is not supposed to be duplicitous, diplomatic, hypocritical. Diplomacy has its role in certain cases, even in devotional circles, but it's very rare. Once in a while we may use if it is unavoidable. But otherwise, the Vaishnava is always straightforward and simple. But now, why is it conflicting with politeness? Yeah. Oftentimes in this world, we think straightforwardness means I will express what I need, what I want to express. Very straightforward. Okay. I will speak whatever I want to speak. Then I'm straightforward. I don't care about others' emotions. When you have to care about others' emotions, then you are polite. If you're not caring, then you're straightforward. Not like that. You can be straightforward, but you can be polite also. These two are not opposite qualities. They can be nicely merged. Okay. So at this point, we need to remember this shloka. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram vakyam. We should speak to people not to cause agitation in their minds. So, udvegakaram vakyam means agitating words. Anudvegakaram vakyam means we should not be agitating. So, being straightforward does not mean you cause agitation to people. Speak. Straightforward means you are revealing what's there in your heart very clearly. But you can present it, the truth, in a polite way, not in an agitating way, not in a provoking way. Okay. Satyam. That is truth. Priyahitam. Priyahitam means you be a well-wisher. This is more important than the previous two. Priyahitam means you are a well-wisher. Even if you speak Udvegakaram Vakyam, Krishna, who said Anudvegakaram Vakyam in 17th chapter, in the 2nd chapter, Krishna began with Udvegakaram words. He said, Klaibhyam masmaga mahapartha naitatva upapadyate kshidram hridaya daurbalyam tyatva uttishta parantapa. So Krishna said this. Krishna was agitating Arjuna. So a teacher or a parent is authorized to speak agitating words for the welfare of their dependents. So they are authorized. Okay, they are very super straightforward. Right? They may not. They may be blunt. Okay, they may be very bold and very straightforward, quote unquote, in their expressions. Okay, they may not mix their straightforwardness with gentleness, politeness, etc. sometimes. But because Priyahitam, well-wishing intention is there, their straightforwardness is not considered an offense or agitating or udvegakaram vakya. Okay. So the point is that when we genuinely care for other people's welfare, when we are their genuine well-wishers, with that well-wishing intent, when we start speaking, automatically our speech will be molded in such a way that it is palatable to other people. And of course, they also should trust us as well-wishers. Sometimes you may be well-wisher, other people may not have trust. Then communication cannot happen so effectively. If you are genuine well-wisher, and if others are also trusting that you are a genuine well-wisher, like Prabhupada and his disciples, sometimes he would chastise the disciples. But the disciples have complete faith that this man is our well-wisher. Okay. So when there is mutual trust, then naturally, even if your words are not that polite, even if you are overly quote unquote straightforward in your expressions, or blunt or sharp in your expressions, you are not misunderstood. You will not be misunderstood, right? But in all ordinary cases where the relationship is not that thick, then we have to present things in a very gentle, polite manner, not in a blunt manner. Okay, you can be straightforward, but that can be balanced with, as it is mentioned here, politeness, gentleness, and very soft speech. Choice of words matters a lot. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Mataji is also asking maturity in devotion, but I think your answer included that actually. But if you want to comment,
yeah. No, it's included.
Yes, Prabhu, it was included. Oh, Prabhuji, she is eternally grateful. Thank you, Mataji, for being with us. So, Prabhuji, I don't see any more questions, and there are so many comments, Prabhuji, for your class. It was a very beautiful class, Prabhuji, like always. I was actually thinking, Prabhu, before the class, I had a question in my mind that when we do preaching, under which process of bhakti it comes under, but then mercy of Srila Prabhupada, it said right in the purport, anything related to Krishna consciousness or is bhakti. So of course preaching is pure bhakti. Prabhupada says very clearly in the and you are very merciful, Prabhu. You give your time from your chanting and your writing and from your other activities, and you come to Bhakti Sangha and to give these beautiful classes. So we all are very grateful to you, Prabhu, and we thank you for your services, Prabhu, always. So dear devotees, if nobody has any questions or any comments, we can end the class here. We will thank Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas on the call. Some devotees are coming on the video right now for Lalita Mataji, Dinabandhu Prabhu. Dear devotees, let us pay our obeisance to Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalptharu vaishya
Vancha kalpatarupesha kripa sindhupya vacha patitanam pavanephyo namo namaha.
Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ji ki
Jai.
Praise God, Prabhu ji